Hey boys and girls, it's time to finish the last bit of chapter 5, Diagon Alley. Harry's going to get his wand today and I am so excited. He's going to get his wand. So be forewarned, the dog is probably going to start howling and my husband's probably going to come home in the background. Okay, here we go. Diagon Alley, the last part of chapter 5. The last shop was narrow and shabby. Peeling gold letters over the door read, Ollivanders, maker of fine wands since 382 BC. A single wand lay on a faded purple cushion in the dusty window. Oh, what good descriptive language. That was awesome descriptive language there. A tinkling bell rang somewhere in the depths of the shop as they stepped inside. It was a tiny place, empty except for a single spindly chair that Hagrid sat on to wait. Harry felt strangely, as though he had entered a very strict library. He swallowed a lot of new questions that had just occurred to him and looked instead at the thousands of narrow boxes piled neatly right up to the ceiling. For some reason, the back of his neck prickled. The very dust and silence in here seemed to tingle with some secret magic. "Good afternoon," said a soft voice. Harry jumped. Hagrid must have jumped too, because there was a loud crunching noise and he quickly got off of that spindly chair. An old man was standing before them, his wide, pale eyes shining like moons through the gloom of the shop. "Hello," Harry said very awkwardly. Hold on, let me adjust this here. It's sliding down. Technical difficulties, boys and girls. Oh, that's better. Okay. Okay. "Ah, yes," said the man. Yes, I thought I'd be seeing you soon, Harry Potter. It wasn't a question. You have your mother's eyes. It seems only yesterday she was here herself, buying her first wand, 10¼ inches long, swishy, made of willow. Nice charm for wand work. Charm work? What'd I say, wand work? Oh, nice wand for charm work. Mr. Ollivander moved closer to Harry. Harry wished he could blink. Those silvery eyes were a bit creepy. Mr. Ollivander moved closer to Harry. Harry wished he could blink. Oh, now see, I'm reading the same sentence again because I hear my son in the background. Today is Jamie's birthday. He's 16 today. And he's going to walk in here and say something weird.
What did you say, David?
I'm trying to record something, birthday boy.
I'll probably be able to, like...
Okay, yeah, he's in there talking on the phone. But so, back to Mr. Ollivander with his creepy silver eyes. Your father, on the other hand, favored a mahogany wand, 11 inches pliable, a little more power, and excellent for transfiguration. Well, I say your father favored it. It's really the wand that chooses the wizard, you understand. Mr. Ollivander had come so close that he and Harry were almost nose to nose. He could see himself reflected in those misty eyes, and that's where Mr. Ollivander touched the lightning scar on Harry's forehead with a long white finger. "I'm sorry to say I sold the wand that did that," he said softly. 13½ inches. You powerful wand, very powerful, and in the wrong hands. Well, if I'd have known what that wand was going to do into the world. He shook his head and then, to Harry's relief, spotted Hagrid. Rubius Hagrid, how nice to see you again. Oak, 16 inches, rather bendy, wasn't it?" "It was, sir, yes." "Good wand, that one, but I suppose they snapped it in half when you got expelled," said Mr. Ollivander, suddenly very stern. Yes, and yes, they did," said Hagrid, shuffling his feet. "I've still got the pieces, though," he added brightly. "But you don't use them," said Mr. Ollivander sharply. "Oh, no, sir," said Hagrid quickly. Harry noticed he gripped that pink umbrella very tightly as he spoke. Said Mr. Ollivander, giving Hagrid a piercing look. "Well now, Mr. Potter, let's see." He pulled out a long tape measure with silver markings out of his pocket. "Which is your wand arm?" Well, I'm right-handed," said Harry. "Hold out your arm. That's it." He measured Harry from shoulder, right here, to finger, right here. Then from wrist to elbow, shoulder to the floor, knee to armpit, and around his head. As he measured, he said, "Every Ollivander wand has a core of a powerful magical substance, Mr. Potter. We have unicorn hairs, phoenix tail feathers, and the heartstrings of dragons. No two Ollivander wands are the same, just as no two unicorns, dragons, or phoenixes are quite the same. And of course, you will never get such good results with another wizard's wand." Harry suddenly realized that the tape measure, which was measuring between his nostrils, was doing it all on its own. Mr. Ollivander was flitting around the shelves, taking down boxes. "That will do," he said. The tape measure crumpled into a heap on the floor. "Right then, Mr. Potter, try this one. Beechwood and dragon heartstring, 9 inches, nice and flexible. Just take it and give it a wave." Harry took the wand and, feeling foolish, waved it around a bit, but Mr. Ollivander snatched it out of his hand almost at once. "Maple and phoenix feather, 7 inches, quite whippy, try." Harry tried, but he had hardly raised the wand when it too was snatched back by Mr. Ollivander. No, here. Ebony and unicorn hair, 8.5 inches, springy, go ahead, try it out." Harry tried. And tried. He had no idea what Mr. Ollivander was waiting for. The pile of tried wands was mounting higher and higher on the spindly chair, but the more wands Mr. Ollivander pulled from the shelves, the happier he seemed to become. Tricky customer. Not to worry, we'll find you the perfect match here somewhere. I wonder now. Yes, why not? Unusual combination, holly and phoenix feather, 11 inches, nice and supple. Harry took the wand. He felt a sudden warmth in his fingers. He raised the wand above his head and brought it swishing down through the dusty air, and a stream of red and gold sparks shot from the end like a firework, throwing dancing spots of light on the walls. Hagrid whooped and clapped, and Mr. Ollivander cried, "Oh, bravo! Yes, indeed, very good. Well, well, well. How curious. How very curious." "Sorry," said Harry, "but what's curious?" "I remember every wand I've ever sold, Mr. Potter, every single wand, and it so happens that the phoenix whose tail feather is in your wand gave another feather, just one other. It's very curious indeed how you should be destined for this wand when its brother, gave you that scar." Harry swallowed. "Yes, 13.5 inches. You. Curious indeed how these things happened. The wand chooses the wizard, remember? I think that we must expect great things from you, Mr. Potter. After all, he who must be named did great things. Terrible, yes, but great." Harry shivered. He wasn't sure he liked Mr. Ollivander too much. He paid 7 gold galleons for his wand, and Mr. Ollivander bowed them from his shop. It's an awkward sentence. The late afternoon sun hung in the sky as Harry and Hagrid made their way back down Diagon Alley. Back through the wall, back through the leaky cauldron, now empty. Harry didn't speak at all as they walked down the road. He didn't even notice how much people were gawking at them on the underground, laden as they were with all of their funny-shaped packages, with the snowy owl asleep in its cage on Harry's lap. Up another escalator, out into Paddington Station, Harry only realized where they were when Hagrid tapped him on the shoulder. "Got time for a bite to eat before your train leaves," he said. He bought Harry a hamburger, and they sat down on plastic seats to eat them. Harry kept looking around. Everything seemed strange somehow. "Are you all right, Harry? You're very quiet," said Hagrid. Harry wasn't sure he could explain. He just had the best birthday of his life, and yet, as he chewed his hamburger, trying to find the right words. "Everyone thinks I'm special," he said at last. "All those people in the leaky cauldron, Professor Quirrell, Mr. Ollivander, but I don't know anything about magic at all. How can they expect great things? I'm famous, and I can't even remember what I'm famous for. I don't know what happened when the night my parents died." Hagrid leaned from the table. Behind the wild beard and eyebrows, he wore a very kind smile. "Don't you worry, Harry. You'll learn fast enough. Everyone starts at the beginning at Hogwarts. You'll be fine. Just be yourself. I know it's hard. You've been singled out, and that's always hard. But you'll have a great time at Hogwarts. I did. Still do, as a matter of fact." Hagrid helped Harry onto the train that would take him back to the Dursleys, and then handed him an envelope. "Your ticket for Hogwarts," he said. "1st of September, King's Cross. It's all on your ticket. Any problems with the Dursleys, send me a letter with your owl. She'll know where to find me. See you soon, Harry." The train pulled out of the station. Harry wanted to watch Hagrid until he was out of sight. He rose in his seat and pressed his nose against the window. But he blinked, and Hagrid was gone. And that is the end of chapter 5. So Harry has his wand. He had the best birthday ever. Hold on. Wave, Jamie. It's Jamie's birthday. Just like Harry's. He's 16 today.
Birthday.
His brother just called in Texas and told him happy birthday, so that's good. All right, boys and girls, I will see you next week. We will read chapter 6. Harry's going to take an amazing train ride. See you soon.